Alright, I've got some free time today. My work's all caught up. I'm looking forward to getting into this project. Been some really good chat lately in the speedrunning Discord about RNG and RNG manipulation. While there's quite a bit understood by the group, there's definitely some things that would be helpful if I could prove out. So let's take this time and let's find the RNG function, the RNG RAM value. Let's observe that, see when it starts, when it updates. And then stretch goal would be going to like a box or a container, breaking it, and let's see the behavior of RNG and exactly how that determines the outcome of box content or item drops. Yeah. So, just getting set up here. We can do a bigger screen. Hit up the debug. No, we can't. We need the debug window. You hit break. It'll take a second and read the ELF file to define the functions. Here's run. And here's all the functions. This is so smooth. Like, I didn't have these easy function names when I was doing other games. Cool. Well, before we start understanding when it's running, let's just go to a spot where we have confidence that it is running. So here we are in game. Maybe let's go to a dungeon. There we go. We're in a dungeon. I'm confident RNG is running right now. Because it's probably impacting other things like maybe enemy movement behavior. And these folks aren't moving, but I think the next room has Aigus and they move around a bit. They're not Aigus, other seed. Let's go find an enemy that moves, just to be sure we can assume the RNG function is running. There's the Aigus. Cool. And I guess they don't move until you get into like proximity. Let's save that. There you go. Now they're moving. Okay, so if we just take some guesses and read through the functions, we could probably find something. Let's start with RNG. Maybe we're that lucky it's called straight RNG. So RND, I believe this is it. Random and random 2. Let's take a look. So RND, random. Yeah, it could be short for random instead of random number generator. But this takes, yeah, cool. There's RND. Let's watch point it. See if it's 4, 5, 6. I can barely see the eyeball move when I hit it once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then render. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so the RND function is running either 5 or 6 times per rendered frame. There's also an RND2, which isn't surprising considering other games have a concept of 2 RNGs, where one RNG is used for certain functions and another RNG is used for other functions. We don't know yet if these two are interconnected, if they're relying on the same RAM addresses, but we'll get to that soon. So RND2, I'm going to watch point this one, and let's just run until And this is interesting, look. RND2 is not running in the field as part of enemy movement. Let's break a box. Oh, what version am I? This is the Japanese version. RND2 is not occurring when you break a box, unless that box is guaranteed to be empty. Oh my goodness. It ran there. And now my controller is mad because it's shaking. I'm actually gonna get out of here. Function F1. Oh, I saved it. Shit. So RND2 happens when you attack an enemy. I wanted to break this box though. Yeah, and there's an item, 130. Function F3. Save it, so function F1. So if we think through this, what RNG would be occurring when you attack an enemy? Maybe there's pushback. So what if I like charge it? What if I do this? Yeah, so it's not necessarily I'm entering a battle. 1, 2. But it did use RNG to determine the pushback of her gunshot. So it could be a Lin gunshot thing. Run, run. Let's change characters. Oh, they actually bumped into me, so it must be the pushback when 2 feet. Oh, I attacked him. I attacked him. Alright, well, F1, F2, F3, I want to load. I want to change characters, and let's do this. Yeah, nothing. Okay, so RND2, nothing to do with boxes. Like here we are, we had watch point RND2. We load the save state, open the box, nothing. What is this? Posturing, Posuta, rings, whatever. Alright, let's do RND1. Oh, that runs every frame. So that's a bit more specific. I'm going to actually not do that. I'll show you how we can understand it more specifically. So I want to go out of here. We said RND1 runs about 6 times a frame. I'm going to pause it. Actually, we're going to go back to the IGO example because I liked how you could clearly see when the frame was rendered, and that we call that like the start of the cycle. It could be the end, but don't matter. So if we breakpoint this, okay, this is the first one where it rendered, and there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total. So we've run it, and it stopped here. I'm actually going to go step by step and then see what function it returns me into. So step by step. Oh, well, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1. Step by step. Boom, boom. 3, 2. Alright, so it is here. It is being called at this location in this pink box, which is the main loop. So this handle, sound, VSync, double buffer. Yeah, I mean, this is really just the first time RNG is updated in the main loop. So I guess my first hypothesis about this could be the first or the last one in each cycle was correct. So this is the first one. I'm just gonna start writing some notes down. I had you don't want to see that. I had a drive. I had a JP. So we have R&D function. We have R&D, what's it, 2? It was called, yeah, R&D 2. Let's assume it stands for random. And then we have R&D 2. So this gets called 6 times in my list. Here we go. So this would be main loop generates a new number. Easy enough. So this is going to be in the field, in the dungeon. Some of these functions may not be called whenever you're in a town or an ant colony, because there could be no active battle to be done. All right, there's the main loop. Let's do the next one. If I get run, it should stop again. Jump it forward a bit, and then EFC SO5 move. Affect something. It's some movement, probably generating enemy movement, but we'll have to further actually diagnose it. EFC sound effect. Maybe it's affect sound. Sound effect 5 could be like the water droplet in the background or something. SO5. Oh, but it says move, so it's probably like an enemy sound movement. Enemy movement sound. Guessing. It doesn't matter yet. Okay, next one is the third one. This is the same function. EFC SO5 move. So this one runs numerous times per frame, but it could be running like 1 time per enemy or something. So there's other reasons that could be operating this way. Run again. Yep. That's the third one. And after this one, we should see the eyeball move. Yeah. And if I hit run again, the eyeball moves. Okay, so what happens is actually, although the RNG is being updated 5 times in a rendered frame, it's actually getting updated once on the rendered frame, and then the RNG function is being called 4 times by this thing right here. Let's go test if this is due to enemies like in the area. So maybe we find a screen that doesn't have enemies, and then see if it's still being called 4 times. I don't want to do this yet. Function F3. We would just go backwards to the stairwell. Yeah, there we go. Hopefully the enemies aren't loaded way over there. I don't think they are. Well, I think they are actually, but let's just see when this thing is ran now. So we can have a hard time seeing any movement. Dang. Well, even if we can't see movement, we can still see what functions we are in. So this is the enemy effect 5. Enemy effect 5. The main. So there should be 4 enemy effect 5s now. That was the first one. Enemy effect 5. This is called twice though. Like it's enemy effect 5, but it's actually pretty high up in the function. And the other one was down here on the end immediately, the ND. So there's one. See, there's 2. It's actually lower in the same function. Yep, here's the first one, and here's the second one. So I misspoke. It's actually may only be calling the function twice, the EFC. Yeah. That function's called twice, so it's actually the function is being ran. Let's go like this. And then, so that's 2. If I run again, it should be the higher one. Correct. And then last one should be the lower one. And then this next one should be the main. Which is the main. Okay. So that matches our that matches. Let's go to the very beginning room. I think it's here. Load this one. There we go. Let's see if it's the same deal. We're gonna break here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then render. It is. So looks to be the same. Main effect SO5 movement. 1, 2, and then a high one, and then a low one, and then the main. Yep. Okay. So we know that this is like agnostic to battle or town, and it's just all part of the main loop. So the main loop must call this sound effects thing 5 twice. So maybe we can find that function on the main loop. So I'm gonna go into the place where we know it's being called here. I'm gonna watch point this. And we're gonna turn this one off. And then I believe this one's being called twice a frame. 1, 2. Yep, and every second time you see the game renders. So I know this is being called twice every rendered frame. And let's see what's calling this one. I think in the registers you can see like previous address, but I'm not looking to do that. We'll just have to follow the code and see what it returns to. There's a return command. Return address here. Jump routine return address. So we'll go here on the breakpoint, and it should be the same experience. Like every second one will cause a new render. Correct. Now I can step into the instructions and see where it returned to, which tells us what called it in the first place. So here's this one. It's part of effect a move. So easy enough. Run again. And this one is part of effect move. So this R&D is about movement, which was my guess, but it is, I'm confident enough to have that confirmed. Okay, well now we know which functions to ignore, right? Like we're gonna watch point on the R&D function again, and we're gonna break a box, and then we're gonna see what which function we don't care about. If this was a like a Ghidra or a really cool reverse engineering program, you could go to the R&D function and you could see every place where that function is actually being called for. It's super awesome. Turn that one off, go to R&D. Okay, back to the game. Let's go to our box example. This might be hard to do. Load. Oh, I know what I can do. I can charge the gun and then save state. Function F1. Now I can go over here and break. And I'm not holding inputs anymore, so eventually this thing's gonna break and open the box. So now I am. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's your render frame. Keep going. My controller's going crazy because of the what's it called? Like DualShock settings. Now, this is going to be annoying, but we're going to have to actually step through these until we get to a function that's not this movement. I'm going to disable the rumble in the PCSX2. Okay, here's the main. But I don't know exactly when the RNG would be calculated on the container being opened up, so this is why we have to just be patient, keep stepping through it. So I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 clicks. You confirm it, and then you run. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Confirm, run. Confirm, run. Oh, I think we already confirmed that RND2 does not impact container drop, so let's at least say that one. RND2, no impact on container drops. I think I keep calling them containers because I may have remembered seeing that in the code. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I can just make sure it's 1D663C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1D6. My controller is so angry it won't stop shaking. I'll update that one later. We're getting closer, a couple more frames and the box should start to shatter, and we should see some new functions that called over the random function, and we can see where the container RNG is like actually being done. Until then, we just have to keep going. patience. I think we're getting close. Alright, my controller quit shaking. It might be something new now. Okay, there's the scheduler. There's this one. Okay, hopefully the next one does it. Ooh, this one looks different. It's not pink. Finally, I think we got it. This is the specific call to the RNG function when the box breaks. EMO main wait. Huh. Alright, let's see if any others happen. So, I'm gonna run. This is the same one. If the next animation frame the box shatters, then that has to be it. There it is. I think I saw the box move. We'll do one more animation frame and then we'll know that was it. So scheduler, should be 4 more of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I hit run, the box should move 1 frame. It did. Okay, cool. I feel good about this. I'm gonna stop watching the exact function. That took forever. Ooh. What did this enable when I removed 1? This is actually tripping every so often without doing anything. That's interesting. Wow. Well, here's what we want. I'm going to what? Oh, I doubt it's coincident. But it could be. But this function got called right as the box exploded. This is EM03 main wait. EM03 initiate, wait, search, walk. Surprise. Is 03 Lin? No. Yeah, it could be. Why don't we switch characters? And then see if this thing gets hit every so often. It does. So weird. Like, is it an enemy movement? EM, I think, is enemy. Let's go look at the EM functions and see what they're called. Effect. EM goes all the way up to 42. EM HP, enemy HP when display, enemy collision. And I'm here looking at EM03. But this is called enemy. EM42. Is there a return for this one? Here, that's the return. So I want to run there and see what calls it. It gets called from enemy sleep check, enemy bind check, encounter check. I mean, this has nothing to do with the box. This is something to do with the enemy. So all that effort about the random function being called in the box, it gave me something with the enemy. So this is not where we want to be. Let's try a different strategy. Let's see if it's called container. I feel like it was. Container kill, container move, container set. This is it. Container setup type initiate. It's probably where it reads the seed to tell you container kill. Let's look at this. This function doesn't look too big, but if we break on that, it's not ran every frame. And ideally it's ran whenever we break a box. There it is. And if I run, it's done. Okay, well, hopefully this thing determines the, there we are, random item get. That is the function. So let's see if random item get function even leverages the R&D function. It could be different entirely. Okay. Okay, so here's where the function starts. Wow. It's huge. Random item get. So does R&D even get referenced here? No, it doesn't go to the R&D function, but it very well could cite the RAM address that R&D is generating. So let's go find that one out now. Add this one to our list. What was it called? Random item get, capital R. I think we're ready to use Cheat Engine to find the RNG value itself. So, using this random item get. We'll start here before I start the other way around with you. Okay, I need cheat engine. Open the JP file. Okay. I mean, I'm just guessing. I wonder if the RNG value is even close to the seed. It would make sense. Okay, well, let's take a look. Random item get. Change my mind. I'm going to start the R&D, and we're going to come back to the random item get. Here's Rand. Mul, MULDI3. I don't know what Rand does. Oh, there's Rand and SRAND. Print. I don't know if this is meant to be random. Huh, come back to that one. Alright, so this one says, so we load the word from GP minus this address into register v1. So if I step the next one, I should see a new value at register v1, and I do see it here. So that's updating v1 based off this. So GP is what? GP is 2C1370. I want to run this a few times and see if GP is consistently 2C1, the same value. It is. 2C1370 seems to be. Same value, that's good. It means it's the same like area in memory. This is where Mecha was talking about like E memory offsets, because the value says it's 2C1370, but I feel like it's missing something like a 2. So let's go over to our cheat engine. Our cheat engine is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8 digits. And this one here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's missing the first 2, which is consistently 2, 0. So I'm going to put OX20. Then we're going to 2C1370. 2C1370. And it actually said we're going to minus the instructions, right? So it says minus 6D9C, minus 6D9C. This should give us a new RAM address, which is this. And this potentially is the location of the R&D value. And so it's taking that number, it's ping-ponging it between registers and adding and subtracting 1. And then it's again storing the new value in the same location. This looks to be like RNG to me. So we're gonna debugger. We're just gonna confirm this thing is updated every frame or every time the function is called. So I want to go to debugger. I'm in debugger. I want to go to breakpoint. New with this location every time it's now I'm there in memory, and if I run, oh I see, I actually turned off the breakpoint. Let's go back to that. We want this one, turn it back on. Now we can check the memory and load word. So it looks to be a word in length is the RNG value, so step into. Or sorry, run. We've got a word update, 8DAC9107. Run. We have a word update. It's actually reading backwards, so 25D8, 5EC2, and this is the number that gets put into VO. So if I hit step into, we should see 25D8, 5EC2 loading into, or V1, I apologize, V1 down here. So if I hit step into, V1 gets the C2, 5E, I mean I read it backwards, but you got it. This is it. This is a word at this location is the RNG value. So add address. This will be JP 1.6 RNG. And this is 2 bytes is a word. We'll see the hex value. And it's only question marks because it's the game's paused, and Cheat doesn't like to do its magic when you aren't actively in the game. But let's see if we can get it going. Disable this one, and it should play smoothly. Now if we go to Cheat Engine, we should see what's going on. I lost something here. Let's make sure we are pointed to the right screen. Yes. Okay. And there we are. There's the RNG value. It's updated every frame. Does it get updated every frame or updated 4 times a frame? I think it's 4 times a frame. What we can do is we can watch point this. So I'll go over here. I want to break on this one when it is written. And the size is 4. Okay. It might be hard to notice when it's rendered, but yep, I can actually hear a blip in my audio whenever it does the render frame. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blip. So it is actually updated 5 times in a rendered frame. That makes it very challenging for us to manipulate on a frame basis. Random function, main loop, generates a new number. Yeah. So back to this, it's there and it's there. This is called a new RNG word, a word meaning 4 bytes of length, generated 5 times in a single rendered frame. What is the game's frame rate? I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter because the main loop is only updated once every rendered frame. So whether it's rendering fast or slow, doesn't matter. So this hurts us. 5 times in a single frame is much more challenging to manipulate. Okay, so now that we know this and this address, let's see if this is the same address that gets cited for the function random item get. And we do that with watch pointing that function. So I'm going to turn this all off, make sure the game runs smooth. I'm going to have to enable the random item get to save load state. And it breaks 1 time here. And now we can just actually read the instructions and see if this 202BA5D4 is cited or not. Actually, before I do this, I need to turn off the rumble control. This is killing me. think this is the effect in the motor. I'm gonna actually unbind this. I think I can just select and press delete. Yeah, good. And then okay. I don't want the motors to go off. So hopefully I can do this again. I'm still watching the function by low state. Great, my controller's not shaking. Let's walk through this function. So branch of not equal AO is supposed to equal 1F4788. Register AO is equal to it's not, so step into a branch. Okay, just trying to right size the stack pointer, no big deal. You want to do an end call with FF on A1 and AO. So A1 is this, and AO, it gets updated. Alright, AO gets updated to be value 1A. Is 1A relevant to us? If I go to F1113, so it's not like it's directly pulling the RNG number. Another check, and if not a jump, and it did jump. This might be doing some math to set up the right register so we can get to the memory offset of the RAM address, because earlier, yeah, this number. It may be just trying to build up this number in the register. And then it can subtract 69C. So I wonder if it hard codes 69C in here. Oh, this is interesting. It increments through like so many values. So it keeps updating V1 and AO. Let's just watch V1 and AO for a minute and see if what happens. V1 is updated to 2A93BO, which 2A, no, I don't see a pattern there yet. I wonder if this is looking for like a drop table on that particular container. It could be updating the registers to get like the object ID. We'll keep stepping through this and see what makes sense. We're now updating A3 and A1 a lot. Looks to be looping. A93B1. We had that one earlier. I wonder if that is the box. Kind of unfortunate it doesn't directly cite the RNG table. 2A93D1. I thought we did B1 earlier. 2A93D5. So it's incrementing when it's looking. So it's looking for D9. Eventually it'll find the ID it wants. Then it'll actually leverage the indexed value on the table of drops. So 3DD hasn't found it yet. That DD one actually was the last one like that, so maybe that was a valid. Oh no, it's still looping. Look. It's gonna iterate through like every box in this dungeon until it finds box number like 20 or something. And then it's gonna look up an index of its drops. Ugh. This could take a minute. Because if it doesn't hit the right conditions, it'll jump further behind in the opcode. 1F48CC. Yeah, see, it keeps cycling. Ooh, that looked like it went forward. Okay, we're not going to be able to step our way through this. Let's find the instruction where it is false. This is true. So if A1 equals 1F48CC, A1 if this value, which is 1, is equal to 1F4, 1F4 8cc, 1F4 95c. I think these are the ROM locations of the tables, the drop tables, the chance tables. So if I just look through all the BEQs here, 1F4 774, 1F4 968, 1F4 78. Yeah, the BNEZs. These are probably the major table differences. I hate to cycle through all this stuff. It's not fun. I think I can step over. That might get me to... But if I hit step out, I think it steps out of the whole function. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. Damn. This is part of the container kill function. That's good to know. We can add that to our notes. So if we go over here, it's container kill, no capital, and then random item get, item model select, pole effect. That's like Nina's pole. The rotation matrix and how the object rotates. So it decides the object in this function. And then it immediately, we're going to have to walk backwards. We're going to have to go here. We're going to have to take the watch point off of here. Run. That's why it's called reversing, because I'm going to go to the first instruction after the random item get instruction completes, and then I'm going to walk it backwards to see where is assigned that value, what table it is. Alright, so if I load state, here we go. It's now the first instructions. There should be like the previous address. Your high, low. PC is 1EA3AO, 1EA3AO. 38C. That can't be right. Return address. Counter. So unfortunate because in my other projects, it's pretty straightforward. You have an RNG call, it give you a number, it translates that number into a value. It would use that value in the chance table right there, and then you know what that number was. I'm gonna go back to the R&D or the random item get. And I'm actually gonna watch point like the last instruction. There. And we'll see if it can effectively get us to the last part of the, oh, see, it did not. That was my concern, is like it could be getting to this return address from some other means. Like this looping part of the logic could say, if everything checks out, jump down here, and then bingo bango, you finished your loop and your call. Yep, okay, so we're here. Does it tell me the previous address? My current address is 968.968, and the return address, this is the container kill function. Damn. What was the address just before, like the instructions just before getting here? Return address, FP, SP is stack pointer. GP is, I don't know. Let's look that up. Let's see what these instructions are defined as. So this is going to be MIPS registers. GP, sure. These are just the instructions you see written all over the code. Oh, here we go. This is what I want. These registers over here. So return address is RA. Frame pointer is FP. I want a GP. Global pointer is GP. Global pointer, stack pointer, frame pointer, return address. Temporary, temporary, temporary. Argument, function return, assembler temp. Damn, this one doesn't have a like previous address. It's a shame because MAME does. MAME will tell you like your PC pointer, which is like your PC is what your PC not on here. On here, it's not. Nor high, nor low. Certain PC is the exact spot in the instructions where you are at. So like here, it stopped at red, we stopped at 1F4968, and this is 1F4968, which is good. But in the MAME debugger for a different architecture, there was another line that said, here is the previous line of instructions that you were at. I found it very helpful. 32 registers. Alright, GP, FP, SP, RA, and AT. So I guess the high, low, and the PC are actually not part of the MIPS, they're actually just part of the debugger itself. FP, RA, yeah. That's just the debugger helping us understand. These S1 through 7, T0 through 9. T0 through 9. 0. 0. Alright, so we're stuck here. And how did we get here? What jumped us here? Does it show the jump in the graphics? does. Here we are. We got here from this line. I hope. Yes, we got here from this line. So if I watch point this one next time, it should stop there. Alright, the assembler does it this way. It shows you the jumps with the graphics on the right. You couldn't see it with how short I had my view. Let's try it again. Function F3. Yes, and that should be step into here. Oh, that was the first watch point. Actually, not what we wanted. Function F3. Yeah. Nope. It didn't actually do it that way. I was mistaken. This function, this just tells you where it could jump from, not that it did. So if well, there's only 1, 2, 3 locations. My concern is if I breakpoint on all 4 of those, then there's the first one. We could find ourselves in that cyclical loop. Oh, we could not. There's the second one. Third one here. And then the fourth one is here. This one seems odd. I don't think I meant to hit that one. So it should be 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, well, try it again. And it's this one that got us there. Step into, jump. Alright, we found it. We found which one of those branches. Working our way backwards. This one. So we are stuck in like this loop here. Disable the other one. There's the top of the loop. And that's happy. And then it proceeds. Alright, we're working our way backwards. Here's this one. How do we get here? Probably from this one. No, this branch is down to here. So it failed that branch, which we're still on this path. So here is how we got to this last branch. So this hopefully should step through it. Oh, I see. I want the one after that. Because I'm stuck on the loop that determines the... There we go. And this should be one time straight through. And there we go. Graphics pointer minus 69.4. Over here we had graphics pointer minus 69C. Getting closer. What was the GP value at this instruction? 202, let's see. GP at this instruction is 202C1370. Alright, we are getting there, you all. This is, in fact, referencing the RNG value. But it's subtracting C instead of... Or it's subtracting 4 instead of C, and it's loading a long word. Or it's not. Okay, what I'm still needing to do is count the difference between 4 and C. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, A, B, C. 5 is loading 8 bytes to get the RNG number, which we know RNG is 4 bytes, so it means the other half is all zeros. So let's follow that out. If I hit this step, it should load the current RNG number plus 4 zeros into A1. So step over here into it. A1, here's your 4 zeros, and RNG right now is this string. Let's go check the cheat engine. Actually, let's not check cheat engine. This one gets upset with all the pausing. Let's go check the memory itself. So I want to go to the math, actually. GP, which is the same, minus 6D94. 6D94 equals here. So check this address. So if I go to the debugger, 202BA5D, we can actually just go here, and it's jumping to C, A, B, C. I mean, here it clearly is the 87B50000 that is loaded. So it is taking this number. But is this number updated by the RND function? I don't think it was. The RND function was updated by D4. 0, 1. So RND is these 4 numbers. And then this is another set of numbers it's grabbing from for the item. So what the heck is writing these numbers? Maybe this is RND2? We already determined RND2 isn't utilized. Cool. So now we know where it's grabbing the RNG associated to the item drop, and that's going to be DC. So now I can go to cheat engine. We can go add address. Whoops. We can end in DC. We can go 6. This is TBD RNG for item container items. Container drops. Container items is what it's called. I think this was 8 bytes, but we'll see what the values show. Run. Cheat engine. Oh, the bottom. DC. 2 bytes. I don't think 2 bytes is right. Let's just go 4 bytes. That looks better. 1, 2, 3, 4, and those leading zeros. There you go. So load state, function F3. We stopped. I want to step over and see the value of A1, step into, and it is 87B500. Go to cheat engine, 87B500. Okay, cool. So we found the RNG number. We still haven't found what writes this number. So let's go do that next. We can watch point this number in the debugger. The size of 4. The size of 4. And we only want it when it writes that number. So we'll come back and explore that next. Disable all this stuff. And then and run. Is it right? It's not enabled. Okay, here it is. Oh, look. The R&D function does it. R&D puts a number at 69C. Did I just do the math wrong? That is the R&D value. Why am I off by 8 bytes? 69.4 is what we had noted last time. 69C? I mean, only the R&D function is writing this. Load word from GP. So GP is currently 2C1370, which is where we're at here, minus 69.4, minus 69C. I think I just made a mistake. 69C. That ends on D4, and our breakpoint's D4. So what the heck is this DC number? I know we looked at it earlier. How did we get there? Loading a word, doing some calculations on 9C. Oh, I know, we'll just go the other way. Like, let's look at the 4 now and see what writes to that. So if I'm in, I've got myself confused now. Turn off both. We're going to look at the byte with the higher address, and that's the C one. If I enable that, let's make sure we have it correctly. Only on write. This is being written as part of the main loop. Okay. Okay. So this looks now to be some translation. So the R&D function is writing the first one. What do I look at this? Let's look at this in... I might have these mislabeled. Which one is getting written first? Okay. This is getting written one time per rendered frame, and this is the higher one. Or the one with the higher address, so there, this one. So we've got the R&D value. More like the R&D, I can't use the word seed, is that a concept? Or base value? R&D base value or seed? But the good news is there is a second R&D actual RAM that's being cited for the item container get. That's only once per frame. So that does explain why we all feel that the drop chances are per frame, and they are calculated per frame. So that's the function. I should put the address there. Confirm the functions. I'm gonna walk this one backwards. I want to see add immediately one. Here it is. Load half upper to VO. So if I go to run, I want to disable this one. And then should just stop here every frame. Yes. It loads the upper half of the D9-4 to VO. So VO is now B4 B9 0000. This one B4 B9 0000. So this one is the container RNG. But is it only the container that reads this one? We gotta see that next. How is it getting that number? Because the RNG is 6, it's transmitting it for sure. What's this breaking on right? That doesn't seem correct because I'm... Oh no, I'm not breakpointing. I'm following the instructions. It's loading that value. This is where it's being read, not where it's being written. So back to TBD here. And 69.4 is the one ending in DC, is being written at this spot. I want to actually take off the break and then enable this when it is read to understand what functions rely on this second RNG value. Okay, we have once every frame as part of set VIF code. Set denv scissor. Load the upper to RNG. So it's read every frame for VIF code. I think VIF was part of the on-screen variables for like vertices. I'm gonna have to check a screenshot I shared with some friends. Let me see. Okay, that's FF6 stuff. Where do I have that? No, I don't want to stream that chat. That's not fair to them. Let's just boot up. No, I'll come back to that. This is called once per frame for set VIF code scissors, whatever the heck that is. So let's note it down. Set. I copy the set underscore VIF code scissors. Set underscore VIF code scissors. You know what VIF code scissors mean? Variance inflation factor. Yeah, this looks like VIF. In statistics, the VIF is a ratio of the variance of parameters established when fitting a full model that includes other parameters to the variance. The the variance. Okay, so it's probably some, but why would you call RNG when you're doing this type of calculation? Okay, I don't think we need to solve that one. But just note that it's referenced here. I didn't mention this yet, but there's a RNG. It's in the seed engine, right? We've got a RNG for Viv code and container. It could even be used for the seed as well, but we'll figure that out. RNG for Viv code and container drops, container items. So what's going to happen is I'm going to like watch point the address. Am I on read or I'm on read? And it's going to do it every frame, right? Cool. I want this, but I also want to there. Hopefully I'm not too late, but if I enable this, it should do it once per frame on the Viv code, and it should do it one time on the container. Let's see. Vsync. Main loop. Oh, sure, the main one. And then the Viv. Yes. The Viv again, I'll have to learn the address. Which is 12E something. So we can ignore 12E's. Actually, this could happen multiple times per frame. Yeah, I don't like that. We're not going to chase this one down because it's going to process it multiple times per render frame. But it was read on the main loop as well. So this one is RNG. They call it RNG2 because RND2 is RND translated, updated, altered, whatever. This is done on the main, and it's done on the container item. But it says random item get, like it could even apply to enemy drops if they use the same function. We'll see if that's true as well. Let's stop with this watch point. It's not helping us. Let's go to random item get. Okay, that's happening here. Run, got the random item. Now let's go kill one enemy. And see if this too uses random item get. That would tell us that the item pickup has the same logic as the enemy item drops. Oh, they're scared. That helps. Trying to think what's down here. Bunch of rats? Or ants? Oh, there could be a guard. That could be good. Let's go find a guard. Big guard. calling for backup. Negative. Okay, so that's not for enemies. Just for containers. Probably a function for like enemy item drop. Let's take a look. Enemy drop item. Boom. How easy was that? Dungeon check. We need to walk this one back and see which RAM address they use, but it doesn't mean it's not the same RAM address. It means it's not the same function, so we still need to find and walk this one back and see which RAM address it uses. Let's do that. I think there's more. Guards? There we go. Ooh. Happens when an enemy is defeated, not after battle. So, enemy defeated. Say it's not end of battle. And then now this is EM drop item. EM drop item. Alright, so this is where it happens. We're stuck in the loop, aren't we? Kokuno. This is the deep dungeon. That's the Hokun Kore. Just gonna loosely scroll through here and look for a like a -69.4. That would tell us it's using the same item model set. It's way too far. Oh, it's determining the model before it concludes. Yeah. Because it's in battle. Ooh, I wonder if it uses the same function whenever you are in battle versus in the field. Let's test that out. Okay, and then run. We're gonna go to reuse attack in Cheat Engine. We're gonna give him ridiculous attack. Ryu attack 4. So now Ryu can easily one-shot an enemy. We'll see if it calls the same function or a different one. Go back here, I think. Hate to run all the way back to the frozen road, but we may have to. No, I didn't kill all the enemies over here. There should be some bats at least. But they're a total pain. I don't want to the item get? It ran the function 3 times. That's interesting. Here we go. Cool. So it ran the same function. It actually ran it twice. 2. Good. Alright, so it's the same as in battle or in field. So enemy defeated, not end of battle. This would be field or battle. Good. Let's see what it uses. First check is Sukuna Kore. We're gonna have to go backwards here. So if I step out, here is where it jumped, and then it branched to here. So I need a watch point. Oh no, I actually did it backwards. I want to just go to the very end. Keep going. Run. Enemy item drop. Here's the end. But see, it loads the model. So let's just go to the model load and say this is the end. And then it can get here from 1, 2, 3 spots. 1, 2, 3. But why would you branch item model set? Is there another down here? There's not. I don't know why would you branch past this and set the model without setting the model. Unless there's no drop. There you go. You would not need to set the model if there was no drop. So the first thing it does is decides that the drop is successful, which to do that, they would have already used the RNG function. So I can probably start somewhere in here and see what the numbers are. Oh, come on. Well, it can be in battle too. Doesn't matter. Boom. Iced ya. Boom. Okay. What we got going on? I don't like that. I want to start here and end here. We'll follow it and see, even if it iterates a bit. Okay. Load. Okay, stack point minus 80. Load 76 to AT. We're going to build like a 2076 number for memory. And then stack pointer plus 50, 40, 60 to return address. Is building values in the S registers, or is putting values from stack pointer offset into the S register location. So S register locations are what, S4 and S5, S4 and S5, S4 and S5, 0 and 100. Yeah, it don't matter. S3 to 1. So S3 to 1 is these numbers. 5, 4E, 4EO. There you go. 45CO. And over here we had 4, 5. Into AO. Let's just see what this is. This is probably the RNG seed it's using. So load AT, and AT is 2076 1234. Interesting, just a whole different spot. 2076 1234. AT 2076 1234 minus 45C0. 207 5B840. What are you doing at that address? 207 5B840. 207 5B. 207 5B. This is near the seed. Just after the seed. Let's go check it out. 207 5B840. If I go to 207 5B840. And then go to memory. No, I didn't type it correctly. 207 on the breakpoint. Okay, and then disable it, jump over here. Here's what we got. And the instructions say load half of the upper, which is a word, from 207 5B840. So it's going to load 1800 2A00 to register AO. So step into 1800. It's only actually loading this much, 18. It's also loading. Ew, what the heck is that? Now it does a deep dungeon check. So it's just like a map ID. I bet this is map ID. Because it's going to take this number and calculate if you're in the whole dungeon. So where my map ID is at? Here. 207 5B A40. That's my current location. All it did was check my current location. And now it's going to check if it's a deep dungeon. So it'll kick me out if it's not. So I don't need to even worry about that. I'm going to stop that part and go to the instructions immediately afterwards. So, what is that? Oh, these are the places where it could branch. Oh, but this is the model set, so it's done. Still can go attack a little bug. Oh, there's more stuff here. Reuse attack needs powered up again. Alright, let's kill it, Papaw. Okay. So now we're past the whole check. And it's seeing if move value of A1 to S4. So A1 is... Don't know, don't care. S4 is 0, 7, 2. Oh, this is gonna turn me back. My current PC is 20DEA4, 20DEA4 here. Oh, we're checking the jump. If you're in the hole, you kick out to the bottom and you leave the function. This is like a branch to exit. Okay. So now we're truly at the beginning of the... Here. At the beginning of the function. item drops are disabled in the hole. I didn't realize that. Or I forgot that detail. I played the game. Oh, no, I didn't realize. Okay, so now we go 4-1-D3. Is this close to what we were looking at? 6-9. This is going to be another 207 number, so it's looking at some of my active RAM. Over to the logic. Game. So load S5 from 176, so S5 is 54E4EO plus 1 to AO. So what's AO going to get? AO is going to get 33. Probably the monster ID. I would guess that's the monster ID. So it's probably like enemy number 1 monster ID. Do I have that in the cheat engine already? I think I had something like that. Enemy number 1, name, HP, move radius, but we don't have ID. AO33, S5 plus 176. S5 is. No, that's much earlier in the instructions. So, okay, it's referencing the monster's ID, which would tell you what jump table it's looking for. Oh, sorry, what chance table it's looking for. Load up immediately from 7F to AT. AT is, oh, it's adding that. Yeah, so now it's going to put me in a 207 area. Load a value from AT, which is your 207, minus 4-1-D3. Maybe that's it. Let's go 207 F 4 zeros, 207 F 4 zeros, minus 4-1-D3, 4-1-D3, 207 EBE 2D, 205, 207, these are just different. 207 F 4 zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4, minus 4-1-D3. So it's going to move the value at this location into a VO. We step into VO is a value of 4. What does that mean? I don't know. 207 EB. I don't think I'm even in that range. 207.5. 207 EB is close to the like map cursor ID. Okay. Subtract 4 from what V1. Hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. Next instruction says something value 5 from AO to V1. So V1 is 18, AO is 33. Subtract V1 from AO, it's doing some calculations. So 33 is like the offset from the base address. Yeah, sure. And immediately number 4 to VO. Now it branches if it's false. So here's the first branch. Okay, it didn't get kicked back up, so it's Let's see, I haven't understood where the RNG was cited. Or read. To determine if you are eligible for a drop. Like, why would you load the enemy's table and all that stuff before you even determine if you're supposed to get anything? Oh, I know why. Because the table has records that have items and records that are blank. So even if you aren't going to get an item, you still need to load the right table and then take your chance on the table. Okay, now it makes sense. So really, all RNG does is tells you what number, it gives you the chance on the table. Ugh. Okay. So I don't want to follow this one anymore. We're already past it. Step into and move, clear out register Z3. And then here's the next breakpoint. We're on the loop. And are we gonna load word from V1 to SO branch of equals VO. One, two, where the model, this is before the model. Yeah, so the result would tell you if it needs the model or not. So things that branch after the model are a blank result. So this one, and these four are all blank results. So there it is. My God, jump to the random function. Thank goodness. This is all I needed. Because in the enemy drop, it directly cites the R&D function. My gosh, that was so much easier than I thought it would be. It doesn't pull the second RAM value, it pulls the first. So enemies RNG is the first word and item RNG is the second word. Cool. So this would be container kill, enemy defeated, enemy field, and then this would be RND. So this is another RND call. Ooh, so enemy drops are going to be totally tough because you're already getting one per frame. One per rendered frame. Oh God. But you're getting you. 5? I'm gonna call it again. Oh, there's the VIF right there. VIF code scissors. Yeah, that has to be the same thing. Enemy defeated item drops, or enemy item drops are a total pain. Because it calls the RND function again. Here, we can get rid of all these other ones. And we can, in the RND function, here's your 69C, which is 69C. Takes you to the 4. RNG for it's going to be different uses for each RNG. The VIF code container items are Yeah. All right. I think we're close. I just want to understand how many times these get updated per render frame. This also gets updated per, does it write or just read? Let's see what the R&D function is. Load the word from V1. VO. Yeah, I think I'm getting tripped up between write and read. We need to understand when RND2 is used. Container drops for enemy item. That's not fun. Let's just say used for what? What is this used for? Is this correct? Is it generated or read? I'm second guessing myself. I'm gonna have to verify that as well. It's not. Let's just say that. Boom. Now, enemy defeated, not in battle. This is the enemy R&D function. Okay. There's an additional RNG value. How is this calculated? We need to figure that one out. And that happens RNG function 2 that's not used. Cool. Alright, 2 RNGs. We know their locations, we know their size. Now we need to get clarity on when each of them is written. And I can summarize it up and be done. Including when it starts. Starting at X. Starting at X. Main loop. Yeah, because I'm getting the uses listed underneath it, but I'm kind of intermixing the read and the write commands. So we'll sort those out. The frequency of the write is when it starts and how often it's updated. I think that's the 1, 2, 3 of it. I want to do when it starts, how often it updates, and then when the value is used by functions of interest. This is what the group wants to know. So make a little FAQ about it. So RNG at RNG, it's 2 bytes at here. So this is RNG at the lower number. Enemy drops is the regular one. This is the regular RNG, so it's this one. Cool. Here we go. Say maybe RNG Prime. I don't like. Or I don't like calling it RNG2 when there is a function called RNG2 that doesn't do shit that we know. This one starts at C. 4 and then C. Start. Okay, and then RNG2. Let's go look at that. RNG2. Stack pointer to return address. Jump to RNG. So is it just like a stack pointer redirect? Like it just what's it called when you like? It's a thunk. Just meant to. Well, thunk would be a full copy of the code, but this is just meant to be some easier way to direct yourself to the RNG function. Like, why wouldn't you do a jump to that address instead of this one? It adds the stack pointer to the return address, removes 10 from the stack pointer, and then goes to the RNG function. So RNG2 is just some type of weird workaround about how you get to the RNG. So it isn't generating any values that we care about. Okay, so technically, they took the RNG2 concept and changed it. Oh well. So there's the address, there's the size, there's the RNG. Okay, I think we're there. Let's continue to assess. I can run the debugger. I can load the ISO. Turn off 200. System boot ISO full. Go to cheat engine. There we are. Let's see the moment these things start moving. Game loads here now. Both generate the moment the game which I guess we knew that because we knew that the frame counter determined the seed value of the game, but at least we proved it out. So back to Google. The game load. Not the PS2 boot up. Okay, that's when it starts. How often it updates. Okay, let's watch point 1 and see when it's written. So let's go to. I don't think I even need cheat engine anymore. Yeah, we can close that. Run this. We can go to the breakpoints. We just want to observe these. Let's kill all these other ones. Alright, the 4. We want to write. We want to enable. 202BA, that doesn't make sense. I expected it to write every frame. And, oh, I bet I know. I've seen this happen before, where the debugger starts being unresponsive to the command. Hopefully I can reboot the debugger without having to. No, You reboot the whole game. Okay. Boot ISO full. Cheat engine. I don't even need cheat engine. I can debugger. What's this thing? Okay, break. The game started. Break. Write your ELF file. Grab my address here. Add new 4 bytes. I only want to do it on write. So is it not doing it during the? Oh. Weird. It's not writing during the movies. Weird. Okay. Every rendered frame. What's it called? CGIs, FMVs, full motion videos. I think it's full motion video. Yeah. Okay. So that's interesting. But let's look at it also in game. So put breakpoint, turn that off, and then load. Now enable it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, see, it's actually getting updated. 5 times a frame. 5 times every. Okay, at title screen. What's it called? As the game boots. Game load. During game load. And then during gameplay. 5 times every rendered frame. And this is it is storing a word, yeah. And then lastly, it is doing it in one time when calculating enemy item drops. It actually makes a call, so you could, in theory, have 6 calls. So this one is why is it doing that crap? Oh, it should be sequential because it should start at 1. Why? Well, I don't need this one anymore. I'm writing it on the other one. Enemy drop item. I don't think that's right. Oh. I started writing it here. This would be number. I don't want 6. I want like as occurs, edit prefix and suffix. I don't want a number there. The details are here. This would be no game startup. There you go. Title screen. Let's say title screen. Okay, there's the first one. Second one. We know, same deal. Let's look at starts on game load. We want to update the, instead of ending in 4, let's end in C, leave. Yep. And this one, we're gonna actually reboot system, boot ISO full. Now we can enable it. Yep. Okay. Now it should be every frame. Yes. But if I disable it, I'm in FMV, so it's not. Press a button, it is. So it's the same. That is an FNV, by the way. Alright, same deal. That's a weird nuance that I hope Rex understands. And then during gameplay, okay, we'll finish the break. Run. Here, now this is gameplay. We are once per rendered frame. 1x every rendered frame. And then the value to a function of interest, we've got main loop, random item get, container kill, random item get. The main loop, and then this is whatever, doesn't matter. Yeah. Okay, how is this calculated? to know. Part of the main loop. PCSX2 version 1.6. Last thing determined, and we are ready for a break. Well, actually, TBD. How is it calculated? TBD. We'll put that one in red. Okay, how is this one? 5DC calculated. So we're going to go to edit. We're going to look at what writes it. Okay, it's written here on the main loop. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not right. 6, 7. Oh, every frame. Yeah, okay, that's right. So it loads 69.4 to VO, so step into VO, and it's 4511. Let me see my cheat engine. Oh no. This one goes here. Load JP. And then 4511 is... I don't agree with that. The one from last frame? Let's see. It might not be, it might be one frame behind on. It was paused. It increments. Look at that. It literally increments one value per frame. That's how it's calculated. Holy shit. Let's watch it in real time. What if you load game? Ooh, wow, that's cool. Increments by OX01 every frame. Not every frame, but that's what's, yeah, it is every frame because it's part of the main loop. There it is. That's interesting. Maybe that's the frame counter. Maybe it's not the RNG prime. I bet that could be it. What if it is the frame counter? Let's just look at it on a fresh reboot. And then it would make sense why it increments by 1. And that would be why the seed value is referencing the frame counter. Alright, so back over to... we don't even need this anymore. We can just reboot the game. We can watch this container item. And it should start at 0 and just start ticking up at some point. There it is. It pauses during the FMVs. It's the frame counter. Okay, we've got it. So I want to continue with this file. I'm now in like the 600 on the frame counter. And if it loads the save file, I'm still in the 700. Well, the start of the new game, so. Hey, this is getting interesting. I'm gonna save it and see if it actually, and load it and see if it takes a step back. So I'm saving at value roughly 1A00. Okay, now I'm going to reset. Now I'm gonna just load the save file and see if it's at value 1A00 or if it's continuous from the current value of this session. So 1A00. It did not. It did not. We can actually use this to manipulate RNG for the functions it interacts with, which is container items. It's possible, you all. Holy crap. That's fun. This is not RNG Prime. This is the current session frame counter. There it is. Save and quit can be used, so long as. Sweet. All right. Share the group, update my cheat engine, and we'll call it there. It's nice to have. So this is container items. Yes, this is not RNG. This is frame counter. See, and the VIP code using it makes sense, so I don't care about that. Container items are based off the frame counter, the same way as the seed generation is. Boom. So RNG first. Enemy drops. Alright, thanks for hanging out, you all. Bye.